All right. Welcome back to another study session. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Hit the notification bell if you want to remind you to study. And like if you did your homework. Today is a review lesson. I started getting through the Waninkani reviews today. I had a lot to do today. A lot of traveling. So while I was on the train, just going through reviews, getting it all the way back down. But I had thing I had gotten invited to, had my Japanese lessons, had to run errands, I had phone calls. It was a lot, to say the least. So I'm kind of tired. Thankfully, past me decided whenever we have Japanese lessons, we're just going to have a Japanese lesson review to kind of just get you information and get you up to speed with what happened in the lesson. So the first thing is we finished 18.1. So today was kind of a lot more of the ni skymos and then the no ni skymos. This is basically so that way we can do nouns, and then this is so we can do verbs or other, I guess, weird situations. So it's dictionary form plus no makes it a noun. So then we can use noun ni tsukaimasu. I think we learned that in Genki, so that part was a little bit easy to get through today. But we did finish out this. We went over the dialogue at the start just to kind of get my head back in it, and I've gotten it down pretty well. Went over my mistakes. Still, so this is just repeating, and I just don't like the reason as to why. It's more of that's just how the language is. So, for example, お金を入れてください. So it's like, hey, please put in your money. And it's like, put in your money and the ticket will come out. You already said, please put in your money. Why are you saying, put in your money, the ticket will come out? Why don't you just say, then the ticket will come out? Or, because you did this, the ticket will come out. Like, that's kind of how it goes in English. We don't like to repeat. So I feel bad because I think we spent a good 5 minutes on it and we could have spent it elsewhere in the lesson. But it was kind of like a disconnect of like, I wanted to know why, but the real answer is what it is. Then the other thing, so I made a mistake here as well. It's demos. So it's the same one here. Dashimasu is used for, what's it called? People, I think. So it's like, I will go out, or I will leave, or please, can you please leave? But de is for like items and things and of that nature. So either that, or I think dasu is also like when you give someone something. So like pen o dashimasu. So like I'm giving you the pen, essentially. But that is kind of what this homework was. So now for homework, finish this. I need to write these sentences just so that way I'm getting good practice in, as well as, I guess, review the vocabulary. I need to make, I think I did half of these cards. I think I stopped somewhere making my Anki card list. So I need to get back to that. It's right here. And then my teacher went to a basketball game. So I realized I'm going to have to probably blur all of this. So that's going to be fun. Anyways, can't have the folder. I'm not trying to leak or dox myself where I'm at. I'm in Japan, everybody. So, anyways, essentially, we went through a lot of, I guess, notes here. First, this is the, I guess, the dashimasu and demasu. So, obviously, chiketo ga demasu. Watashi ga chiketo o dashimasu. So, like, when there's an object, the subject is a person, dashimasu. If the subject is the actual item, demasu. So, then we had e and adjectives. This was because I did takai ni narimasu when e adjectives is takaku and okiku narimasu. So na adjectives gets ni, e adjectives become ku for like okikute and like any kind of like te form or kunai, I think, is negative short form for e adjectives. So things like that. And then this is explaining the why for the homework, like I just said. Spent a good bit of time trying to get through that, but that was fun. Oh, and then more of it. So then we got to examples, and this is where my vocabulary went to nothing, because that's essentially what I had in the lesson. So there's two kinds of questions. The one, nani ni tsukaun desu ka? So what or how do you use this? Doyatte tsukaun desu ka? How am I using it? So, or I guess this is what is it used for? This is how do I use it? So steps versus what it does. That's probably a better way to say it. What does it do? How do I use it? But I guess both translations are pretty similar, if that makes sense. But this is, I guess, something I was getting a little... So the other thing with toll that I didn't realize till like she said something that really clicked. When you have toll, it's this happens, then this always happens. So, for example, if I press the power button on my computer, the power will turn on. Always, 100%, without fail. Well, unless it obviously doesn't have power, but you know, the 99.9999% chance that, you know, I have power and it's going. It's the actions that you expect to always occur, not sometimes. If it's sometimes, or if it's not a chained reaction, which is kind of how I took the example. I forgot what she exactly said, but for example, if I want to, you don't use it like and. They use te form, which is why these are te form and this is underlined to. So, e o mite, bun o noto ni kakimasu. So, like, when you look at the pictures, when you look at pictures, you don't always write in your notebook. even though if you said 絵を見ると、文をノートに使います。It, like, yes, when you are doing, I guess you would need context. For example, if you had like 勉強するとき、勉強しているとき、for example, like when I'm studying, I look at pictures and write grammar. Always. If that's what I always do when I study, then maybe I could use it. So that's kind of when the toll is used. And that's kind of how I've interpreted it. If I don't got it, then is what it is. But yeah. And then 見えなくなります. So this was a little strange. I don't quite understand 見えなく, but is what it is. ページの上に置くと. Yeah. So then I had a little bit of a blunder here. This was a very, very, very disappointing day. I could not figure out te form for ki, and I was trying to think of like what is it, kaki, and then I was like kaite, and when she said it, she kind of went for a very long time on this, and I feel like I wasted my own time for not remembering it, but that's also why she gave me this for like learning what kind of forms do what certain things. This is another, it's not Goldan or Ichidan. This is kind of like classification of verbs. So it's like group 1, group 2, group 3. And then she gave me more te form. And then she highlighted this, which is intonation difference, even though it's the same, which was a little bit weird. And then this is where I guess my brain was going, is e for, or ki, ikimasu, like to go, ite. I kept saying de, and I was so confused as to why I was getting it wrong. But then after that, we did a lot more of the examples and stuff and went through a bunch of stuff. But that was essentially the lesson. We're going to go into 18.2 next. Hopefully I finish my homework. But that was the lesson. So with that being said, let's get into homework. So for homework, I'm essentially going to hopefully, get Wani. If I can, I hope I can get WaniKani completely finished tomorrow. I'm not going to record all of it. I was at 1,500 today and got it down to about 1,000. If I can just sit down for like 5 hours, I think I can just binge through 1,000 reviews and get it done. But that is a 5-hour sit and binge, which I don't know how much I want to do. But it's not necessarily what you want to do, it's what you need to do. So get your WaniKani done, make sure you're keeping up with it. Then as well, try to do your journal every day, and definitely do your listening and other stuff. I will be doing some writing practice to kind of get some of these grammar points hammered home, because I feel like I need a little bit more practice. So I will probably also be doing a review lesson this week after I get my WaniKani done. But that was today's lesson. So I will see you in the next one. Deuces.